Welcome, Way of the Rose Novena group. Today is the 30th of June, and it's day 11 of the novena. It's Sunday, and we are in the Nativity Novena. Now, if you're anything like me, on day 11, you may be wavering or wondering about your current novena prayer. It may feel like, is that quite it? Is that quite my heart's desire right now? Do I need to refine it? Or do I need to really dive in, jump in, and commit to it? So that's one experience we're going to explore through movement. So hold that question of what's going on with your novena post, or your novena prayer. And then the second part, the second and third part, are around the fact that in this nativity, we can be both the mother, feel where the mother is in this. We can be a lot of roles, but for the sake of this video, we're going to focus on the mother and the baby. And one of the most useful ways that I have of exploring this question around, is this the right novena prayer for me? But also getting in touch with, where am I as the baby getting ready to be born, is something from my experience as a dance movement therapist about the core distal pattern, which is part of a developmental pattern. And so I'm going to invite you, if you feel up to it, and you can do this on such a small scale, but I'm going to show you more or less full body. I'm going to have to adjust my camera every now and then. Maybe I'll take that away. Um, the core distal pattern is all around feeling that strength of the core and how we have 6 distal points, head, tail, arms, and legs that move around this. And so you can simply be seated and do a little bit of stretching this way into the core and out again. You can also just take, say, the head and just lean forward and then extend it out, trying to feel how you're connected right in that core of the body. And this is how we were connected in our mother's womb, in that belly button, right in there. So you can also just say, take an arm and feel how you extend from the core. You can put one hand on the core and then feel how then it can come in. And you can just play with that tactile feedback. You can use a ball. And so I'm just going to start dancing a little bit of the core distal pattern. And one of the things you can bring into this exploration is my novena prayer feeling right to me, or do I need to refine it a little bit? What is my real heart's desire? And so feeling how, in order to expand out, we have to really curl in. And one of the nice things you can do to feel that curl in is bring a hand to the back of your head and to your pelvis, and to really feel that curl in and that curl out. And as you know, so just play with that for a minute or so and asking yourself about that novena prayer you have, finding all those distal points, finding that core. The simpleness of this is being in a big X and then bringing those 6 points right into the center. So that's a little bit about that. And then I just want to take you to the floor if you're up to it. And in this pattern, you can be laying and think about this because a baby, in most cases, not all cases, is placed in the womb with this head tail. So they're at this curve. So they're really in the core. They're really in the core. And so one thing we could explore, I'm going to lean up because I got to see myself, is we could just take time to lay down in that position and feel like, well, is the baby ready to come? Because anybody who has had a child knows that it's a mysterious process. The baby lets off some kind of hormones that it's ready to be born. And it's very mysterious. We never quite know when a baby's coming. And unfortunately, in our current worldview, they want to have some control over this. But sadly, um, we need to allow for space around this. So, one thing you can do is you can do it around your, if you have the question around um, your novena post, or just wanting to feel how that nativity becomes, it's like the building of the excitement, is to hold yourself. You can hold one hand on your sacrum and one on your head and really feel yourself in that fetal position on the side. And remember, don't do this if it doesn't feel right to you. I'm just offering suggestions. And so as you hold yourself here, you can both ask yourself about your novena prayer for this novena, or you can ask yourself about the nativity. How does this feel related to the nativity? As a baby gets ready to birth, there is going to be some movement this way that the baby bears down with that head. And so we can play with that bearing down of the head in so many ways. You can come this way and just feel what it feels like to bring your head to the floor and arch your spine. And some of these positions can be very comforting, but they can also challenge your emotional whatever. So I am only offering this. I'm not suggesting that you practice this unless it feels right. But there's something about that preparation, getting ready for that birth. And then sometimes the struggle, the subtlety, and the length of time that a labor might take. And so you can play in movement if it feels right, what it's like to bear down, bringing that head down. And then the part of the mother, if you wanted some of those mothering movements, is the standing up and really feeling the legs and a little bit of that swaying. So sometimes the nativity is really about that waiting. Can I bear to wait? So can I hold on to this? And so just that swaying can feel like here's the mother waiting to bear that baby down and really allow gravity. And so this can be another way that you can feel into what might that nativity have felt like. Because so often we're just focused on the outcome, aren't we? We're focused on the birth of that baby, seeing that glorious light or this new life and this pureness of energy that comes with that. But to get there, and this is also the sorrowful mysteries, sometimes we just have to trust and bear down and just be in this energy and just stay here for a while and that waiting. And I realize sometimes it can feel unbearable and intense, can feel very intense, just like sometimes some of these novenas feel, Vena prayers feel very intense. So these are just a few ways you can explore in movement what the Nativity is about bearing down and bringing that new life into focus. And just think about if you've got something new you're trying to bring through in your life or in your novena prayer, it could be just doing these little core distal movements to feel that little pulsation of what's it like to really go into my core, and what's it like to come out. And maybe you're only ready to come out just a little bit. So these are just different layers and levels through movement that you can play with. Again, thank you very much and have a beautiful day.